Right. And then says, it smells good. And she says, it's my body makeup. That's her big harassment moment. They are playfully acting for the camera, trying to make it look like two lovers, two people in a relationship are dancing with one another. For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. She wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of that team. The next thing you know, she took over the editing. She started making threats that she wouldn't promote the movie, that she wanted to be in control of marketing of the movie, that she would do nothing in terms of promotion unless she was the actual editor.
Who wrote to me said that they worked on the set of It Ends With Us, okay? And that the villain in this entire story is not Blake Lively. It's not Justin Baldoni, but it is Ryan Reynolds. He goes into Blake Lively's trailer and they have an argument. All of the production assistants overheard the argument, okay? Now, what was at the root of that argument? We don't know, but we can assume it had something to do with what he saw in these dailies, what he read in the script. Who even knows what led him to even visit on this day? And the person says that from that day forward, he started involving himself, that he basically became a chaperone for her on set. He was there.
That she became uncomfortable with Justin Baldoni yesterday while she was filming. She states that Mr. Baldoni put his bare hands on her backside and said that he was trying to help her with her posture. Complainant immediately voiced her displeasure with being touched on an intimate part of her body, and Mr. Baldoni responded with, "It's fine. I'm totally hot for my wife," in a dismissive tone.
Justin says that Blake was determined to make him the real-life villain in her story because she wasn't doing well on the promo tour for the movie. It was very tone-deaf. Her hair care line wasn't doing well. She was trying to sell booze while talking about domestic violence. Justin says the war between himself and Blake really started in May 2023 when they started shooting the movie. He claims that she was organizing a takeover strategy.
They're done, and it's no wonder everyone avoided them like the plague.
TMZ just dropped a bomb on Blake Lively, and it made her day from pretty bad to devastating. So we are still waiting on the amended lawsuit from Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. They're supposed to be adding names or evidence, who knows, but today is the due date, and it has to be done by 11:59 p.m. We have been waiting.
It's my favourite story, I think, in showbiz this year. The Justin Baldoni war with Blake Lively, which seems to me, initially I felt quite sorry for Blake Lively. Then I've been reading all the messages between them all, and which he's been putting out, obviously. And it just seems like a pair of absolute weapons-grade narcissists. Now, spray gunning each other with as much dirt as they can possibly do, having spewed lovey-dovey stuff to each other for months on end.
The Oscars are typically filled with comedic routines, red carpet glamour, and feel-good moments, with host Conan O'Brien, known for his sharp wit, expected to keep things light and humorous. However, instead of the usual banter, O'Brien dropped a bombshell that took aim at Blake Lively's ongoing lawsuit troubles. Multiple sources confirmed that Lively, caught completely off guard, left the auditorium almost immediately, turning her back on the spectacle that typically holds the entertainment industry captive. Her sudden exit ensured that the focus shifted, from acceptance speeches to the drama unfolding between Lively and Justin Baldoni. Sources say her departure was abrupt, with onlookers noticing an unmistakable expression of shock or anger as O'Brien's monologue touched on her rumored legal troubles. Before viewers could fully grasp what was happening, she was gone, leaving, her seat eerily empty. It's highly unusual for a star of Lively's caliber to leave so publicly, especially at an event like the Oscars, known for its decorum and celebration. Instantly, social media exploded with speculation, commentary, and half-verified accounts of what Conan had said and how deeply it might have cut. The big question: did Lively's exit confirm the validity of O'Brien's remarks? Or was it just a response to unfair comedic jabs at a night meant to celebrate Hollywood's greatest achievements. Instead of discussing cinematic milestones, the talk of the night quickly turned to Lively's walkout. Attendees and social media alike began buzzing, with rumors swirling that O'Brien's jokes targeted her ongoing legal battles with Justin Baldoni, suggesting that she wasn't being as transparent as she had let on. As the show continued, the empty seat became a focal point, shifting the narrative away from the winners of the night to the drama surrounding Lively's lawsuit. Conan O'Brien's opening monologue became the catalyst for Lively's swift exit. Traditionally, Oscar hosts make light-hearted jabs at nominees, but this time, O'Brien referenced the rumored lawsuit between Lively and Baldoni. People seated close enough to Lively noticed a dramatic change in her expression as soon as O'Brien began hinting at those in the crowd with more pressing matters in court than on the red carpet. One snippet, which reportedly alluded to legal battles more intense than an awards ceremony, left little doubt about who he was targeting. Whether O'Brien mentioned Lively's name directly is up for debate. Some say he didn't, but the context made it impossible to miss. Others claim he dropped her name outright, marking a bold, direct jab at an ongoing legal issue regardless. Of whether O'Brien said her name, the specificity of the jokes was undeniable. Lively and the entire audience knew exactly who was being called out. As O'Brien segued into more jokes about stars throwing legal documents like confetti, an undercurrent of discomfort reportedly rippled through the crowd. Within minutes, these remarks, Lively was seen whispering urgently to a companion, possibly a publicist, with a tense demeanor. Then she rose from her seat and disappeared down a side aisle. By the time the cameras panned for reaction shots, her seat was empty. Some speculated that she had stepped out to compose herself or confront O'Brien backstage, but as the show went on, she didn't return. This confirmed it wasn't just a quick restroom break. Her abrupt departure quickly became the evening's major storyline, overshadowing much of the celebration. Conan O'Brien's comedic bits took a sharp turn when the spotlight fell on Blake Lively. But the big question remained. Did O'Brien cross the line, or was Lively's reaction completely unwarranted? Rumors quickly spread that Lively was visibly shaken, some claiming tears welled in her eyes, while others said her expression was a mix of fury and humiliation. The mood in certain sections of the auditorium shifted, and it wasn't just the stars noticing. It became clear that something bigger than just comedic jabs was unfolding. Social media exploded with fans at home tweeting things like, "Did Lively actually leave after Conan's jokes?" And "What's going on with Lively's lawsuit that spooked her so much?" As the world consumed these snippets of information in real time, the narrative of the night shifted. It was no longer about the usual Oscar buzz. It was all about one star's dramatic exit. Ordinarily, the Oscars focus on who's wearing the best gown, who gave the most emotional speech, or which underdog film pulls off a surprise victory. But that script was upended the moment Conan wrapped his monologue. The hum of speculation about Lively's whereabouts drowned out the usual awards chatter. The tension in the room was palpable, with presenters exchanging unsure glances and the audience's applause occasionally faltering. Backstage, producers reportedly scrambled to make sure no live camera lingered on Lively's empty seat for too long. Social media didn't miss a beat. Fans devoured every rumored detail. Some claimed they saw Lively backstage in a heated discussion with her team, while others insisted she hopped into a car and left the venue entirely, skipping out on the rest of the night. What was once a night of glamorous celebrations quickly became consumed by one star's decision to exit mid-show. Instead of focusing on acceptance speeches or red carpet moments, the public fixated on Lively's walkout, which overshadowed the rest of the evening. The final awards handed out were barely a footnote in the media frenzy that followed. Some people on social media were outraged at O'Brien, accusing him of exploiting a painful legal conflict. Others praised him for addressing the drama swirling in the headlines, calling his comedic approach a fearless way to bring attention to the elephant in the room. The question that hung in the air as the night went on: how serious must Blake Lively's situation be for her to walk out of the Oscars in the middle of a live broadcast? She couldn't handle a few comedic barbs? That single question turned everything upside down, revealing just how serious Blake Lively's legal troubles might really be. To understand the gravity of Lively's unexpected exit from the Oscars, you have to first grasp the complexities behind her dispute with Justin Baldoni. Their conflict, rumored to involve personal vendettas, production deals, and a web of industry drama, has been simmering for months. Each new rumor seems to escalate the tension, with both sides claiming the moral high ground, while whispers about manipulation and secret alliances swirl behind the scenes. As the battle raged on, speculation grew that Lively's once perfect public image was under pressure, maybe even in jeopardy, if certain documents or communications ever saw the light of day. Behind the glossy headlines, reports surfaced of Lively attempting to control her narrative, using every tactic to prevent details of her private life from becoming public. Baldoni, on the other hand, reportedly hinted at possessing evidence that could completely change the way fans see Lively, making their lawsuit far more than just a typical industry conflict. It became a spectacle of secrets, media spin, and high-stakes PR warfare. So when Conan O'Brien took aim at Lively during his Oscars monologue, it wasn't just another joke. It was like opening a door to a room Lively was desperately trying to keep shut. Lively's sharp reaction, her swift exit from the event, might be the key to understanding why the situation escalated so quickly. If she feared that O'Brien's routine was inching dangerously close to the truth about her case, leaving was the only option she felt she had left. Some might argue that if she had laughed it off, the moment would have passed. But by walking out, she made a statement that O'Brien's jokes weren't just harmless banter. They were hitting closer to home than anyone realized. The fact that Lively didn't return suggests a deeper issue. This wasn't about a fleeting embarrassment. This was about protecting her image and avoiding exposure. The walkout itself became the headline, overshadowing months of rumors and speculation. It validated everything the public had been whispering about. Her lawsuit is not just a legal battle, it's a media crisis. And if a star like Lively, known for maintaining composure under the harshest public scrutiny, feels compelled to leave the Oscars, what does that say about the severity of the situation? Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's camp must be watching this all unfold closely. If a few jokes from O'Brien were enough to send Lively running, how will she handle the mounting pressure if more revelations or even actual evidence comes to light in the months ahead? The moment Lively's exit was confirmed, Hollywood was abuzz. Speculation ran rampant. Would she return after cooling off? Or had she truly left for good, unwilling to face any more public jabs about her legal issues? In the VIP sections of the ceremony, producers, directors, and A-listers exchanged knowing glances. If Blake Lively, a star known for her poise and grace, couldn't handle a moment of public humor, what did that really mean for her legal situation? Blake Lively's abrupt departure from the Oscars sent shockwaves through Hollywood, sparking intense speculation about what really led to her exit. Was it just a minor reaction to a comedic jab, or was there something much deeper at play? When Lively left the auditorium in the middle of the broadcast, it wasn't just a star storming off, it was a statement. Those closest to her quickly realized that her exit wasn't just about discomfort. It signaled something far more serious. One source described it as a mass hush falling over the room, as everyone grasped that this was no ordinary comedic roast. This was real, legal baggage being aired in front of the entire world. Blake Lively, who's long maintained an aura of calm and grace, seemed to crack under the weight of Conan O'Brien's pointed remarks. Celebrities are used to being poked fun at, but Lively's disappearance suggested something more profound. The Oscars, typically a place where stars brush off light-hearted jokes with a smile, had now turned into the stage for a moment that many would call uncomfortable, if not downright damaging. The question everyone is asking, why couldn't Lively just brush it off like so many others do? The fact that she didn't return, despite the night going on without her, implies that the issue was far more than a few off-the-cuff jokes. It's likely that Conan's remarks touched on a nerve, sparking fears that if these legal issues become public, they could destroy the public image Lively has worked so hard to build. Her sudden exit was a declaration, whether she meant it or not, that this wasn't something she could easily laugh off. The timing of the walkout also raised eyebrows. For years, Blake Lively has been seen as the epitome of Hollywood elegance, witty, charming, and largely controversy-free. But now, with her ongoing lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, things are starting to look different. As soon as Lively made her exit, the question on everyone's mind was, what does this mean for her? The Oscars, known for celebrating achievements, in cinema were now dominated by speculation about Lively's walkout. What had she walked out on? What did Conan say that hit so hard? The public was quick to jump to conclusions. Some people speculated that Lively's decision to leave was directly related to the ongoing legal drama she's entangled in with Baldoni, suggesting that she simply couldn't handle the jokes about her personal troubles being aired in front of a global audience. It wasn't just a fleeting moment of discomfort. It was a breakdown. But why would Lively leave in the first place? Some say it was to keep her composure, or perhaps to avoid further discomfort in front of cameras. Others think that she simply couldn't stand the public ridicule of a legal situation she's trying to keep under wraps. The walkout raised more questions than it answered. Did she fear that O'Brien's routine was a signal that deeper truths were about to be revealed? Was she worried that Conan had more to say? Did the jokes hit a little too close to the heart? Meanwhile, some defend Conan, arguing that his monologue was a timely reflection of real-world issues that Hollywood often ignores. They praised his willingness to address the elephant in the room, but for many, the immediate result was clear. The jokes were not harmless, they were pointed, and they struck at something far more personal than the audience had expected. Some even suggest that O'Brien's humor, though part of his typical hosting style, may have been too specific and sharp, pushing Lively to her breaking point. The ultimate question is whether O'Brien's routine was premeditated. Did he plan to target Lively and stir the pot? Or did he simply decide to comment on a story already circulating in the media? Industry insiders are divided. Some claim it was a bold, topical approach. Others argue it was a direct hit on Lively's personal struggles. Either way, the fallout was bigger than anyone could have predicted. As the night wore on, Lively's empty seat became the main focus. Producers reportedly scrambled behind the scenes to keep the camera away from it, trying to minimize the distraction. Social media buzzed with updates. Did Blake Lively really leave? Was it because of Conan's jokes? The drama quickly overtook. The usual Oscars chatter, leaving the media and fans fixated on one question. Why did she walk out? Some fans defended Lively, arguing that no star should be forced to endure public ridicule, especially when dealing with personal legal issues. Others questioned whether the severity of her reaction only highlighted the magnitude of her legal battle. The consensus seemed to shift toward one central point. If Lively's reaction was so dramatic, it must mean the situation is far worse than anyone thought. Now, as the dust settles, the big question remains. What does this walkout mean for Blake? Lively's career? Will this spur more rumors, more revelations about her legal troubles with Baldoni? Or will the PR fallout from this incident be the wake-up call that drives her to take control of her narrative? One thing is for sure. The legal drama surrounding Lively's lawsuit is far from over, and with every new development, her carefully crafted public image is at risk. As the story unfolds, people are asking, will Blake Lively be able to bounce back from this public blow? Or has this moment marked the beginning of a bigger unraveling? Stay tuned, because there's more to come, and the situation is far from finished. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for all the latest updates on this shocking story.